Hello everyone, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Isaac.
And you're listening to Let's Talk Avatar.
This podcast is a watch-through of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We will be discussing each episode in detail and giving our opinions on it.
So stick around and be a part of the conversation.
Just as a warning, this episode does feature spoilers from Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is a teen-rated podcast, so listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Let's Talk Avatar podcast. My name is Isaac.
And I'm Rachel.
And today we're going to be talking about episodes 5 through 8 of Season 3 of The Last Airbender. So let's just hop right into it. Okay,
Dang,
so
you didn't even give me a warning we were starting. You literally just hopped into it.
Back up a little bit.
Back up? I'm already like...
I don't know, like you barely talk and look.
You know.
I did that.
Where this
and I gotta be like right here to even match yours.
Okay, so... yeah, let's just hop right in. Again, I want to say something. I know I said at the end of last week's episode, but just a reminder, we have a giveaway going on right now until the end of our Avatar: The Last Airbender series. And included in this giveaway is a lovely book, a personalized t-shirt, and an exclusive pop figure. All related to Avatar: The Last Airbender, so no worries there. If you're interested, literally everything is on our Twitter, which is @Let'sAvatar. We'll also put a link in the description below. I mean, I say description below because this goes on YouTube, but it's also on like Spotify and everything else. So @Let'sAvatar is our Twitter if you aren't connected to our YouTube in any way.
So I had a few issues putting the link to our Twitter on like Spotify and all that, but just know it's @Let'sAvatar on Twitter altogether. Mm-hmm. For some reason, when I put it in the description on our like hosting site, it says Let's Avatar that. And I'm like, no. I've tried to change it a bunch of times, but just know it's Let's Avatar.
So yes, reminder, there's a giveaway if you're interested. It's super easy to enter. You literally, I say literally way too much just to let you guys know.
Take a shot anytime Rachel says literally.
Take a shot. Good luck. You just have to retweet, like, follow us, and then comment on our Twitter your favorite podcast episode of ours. Mine's Baby Hope, forever Baby Hope. Baby Hope. That will also be an option for your personal for your personalized shirt. Can we just keep this unedited?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopping right into this. This episode is The Beach. Episode number 5 of season 3.
And by beach, we don't mean the B word, we mean the beach.
The beach, like the ocean, the beach. In this episode, it mainly, what's the word I'm looking for? Involves Zuko and his crew. His crew at the moment, which is Azula, Tylee, May, and him.
I love this episode.
I do too.
One of my favorites.
I love it because I feel like we get an insight into Azula's character a little bit more, which is very interesting.
Like everyone's character, you know?
No, you do.
Because we haven't really, like, gone into any of their backstories, really.
Yeah. In this episode, they show up at Ember Island because their dad has pretty much been like, okay, bye, got stuff to do, go over here. So they go to Ember Island. And you pretty much see all their personalities come out in this episode. And there's a moment where they're around a campfire and they're all having a really deep, heartfelt moment. But you also see their personalities throughout just their everyday life and how they interact and what they do.
It's so well done because you see their ups and their downs like everyone has. So you really get a good grasp on everyone's personality and how they react to things. And just how they act in general. But it didn't feel forced, which was the crazy part about it. Because like you're going through this whole day with them. Mm-hmm. Or a couple of days. And you really see their whole interaction. Whereas before it's just been like, oh, we're going to fight people. And that's not really like a personality trait.
Yeah. I enjoyed this episode solely for the fact that I got to see a bit more of Azula. And Azula has never been a favorite character, will never be a favorite character of mine. But it's really interesting to see her character in something else besides, like, a psychopathic episode. And some kind of, like, you know, crazy psycho witch moment for her. This was actually, she admits to Ty Lee during this episode that she's jealous of her, and that's the first time I'm like, wow, you actually experience other feelings besides like gloom and doom.
Yeah, besides like...
Not even gloom and doom for herself, for everyone else around her.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode, I don't know how to really describe it. They go to a party,
It's like one of those episodes, it's just a fun, relaxing episode, like super fun. And the animation is just so well done. Mm-hmm. And there's a key moment at the end for Zuko.
Oh, yeah.
And it's where he figures out that he's not angry at everyone else, he's angry at himself. And this is why he was so swayed to go with Azula in the first place. Mm-hmm. And he's finally putting the dots together.
Yeah, it's all of them around a campfire, and at this point they've all pretty much shared their like insecurities with one another and roasted Ty Lee. Can I just say they literally shots fired. I'm like, poor Ty Lee, she's the most innocent out of the group and she's being attacked the worst.
And she's crying and they're like, haha, you're this and you're that.
If you guys want to watch it, I'm sure you could find a clip of it on YouTube or something, but it's definitely worth watching just as like a refresher.
They did not go in as hard with the other people as they did with Ty Lee.
No, not at all.
They're like, oh, Ty Lee's going first? Let's go all in.
Yeah, exactly. But Zuko, in that moment, they're kind of bombarding him. They're like, tell us how you feel. Why do you feel this way? What's going on? And you just kind of hear, and he's getting bombarded, and that's when he says that he hates himself. And that, I feel like that was a really deep moment, not just for him, but this is going to sound really cringy, but it's one of those deep moments for yourself, because how many times have we been upset at the world or had something going on and you really don't know what's going on, but then you realize you're angry with yourself. There's something within you that's causing you to respond to everything else that's going on and making it negative, I guess.
As humans, too, it's just easier to shift the blame away, like put it on something else, someone else, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. It's easier to look at someone else and say something than to look into yourself and be like, oh, maybe it's me.
Yeah,
I mean, there are some people that instantly do that, but that's few and far between.
Yeah. Definitely. Like Isaac said, this is a very easygoing, fun episode.
Also, Combustion Man makes his debut.
He made his debut last week's group of episodes. We just forgot to mention it.
I don't know how we forgot that key moment, but we did. But he's here, and he's trying to kill the Avatar.
Yeah.
And that whole animation when Aang... So the combustion guy, he has a third eye, whatever, and he, like, shoots laser combustion stuff out of it. And the noise it makes is like, and then it just, like, explodes. Mm-hmm. It's, like, the coolest sound. It sounds cringy, but,
the whole fight scene between Aang and the Sparky Boom Man.
Yeah.
Is extreme. It is well animated. It is so. You just can't keep your eyes off of it. You can't keep your eyes.
You can't.
You just can't keep your eyes open.
It's so tiring. It just sucks so bad.
Wow. Drill it into me.
Ty Lee.
Okay. Let's just move on to the next episode, which was episode 6. This one is one of my absolute favorites. It does have some moments where it's kind of boring, but I kind of like the more boring stuff because I love backstory. And this is exactly what this episode is. It's the Avatar and the Fire Lord. Can I just hold on? This is the moment I've been waiting for to share with you guys. I've mentioned it before in earlier episodes. Like, there's certain things I can't share because we're not there yet. And this is the moment you realize why Zuko has such a struggle, such an internal struggle. And we're going to explain. I'm not just going to say it right now because I want to lead up to it, build up to the moment.
Cringe.
But, so we find out that Avatar Roku, who was the Avatar before Aang, and Fire Lord Sozin, who is, it is the Fire Lord now. What's his name? Ozai? Fire Lord Ozai, Zuko's.
That's how unforgettable of a villain Ozai is.
Zuko's dad is that Sozin is his grandfather. So he's Zuko's great-grandfather. And him and Avatar Roku grew up being best friends, like true best friends, and eventually Avatar, whatever. I cannot focus. I mean, I never can focus, but collect yourself, Rachel. Focus. Okay. Roku goes to be the Avatar, and on his wedding day, Sozin is his best friend and shares with him the ideas he has for the Fire Nation, which is pretty much like, hey, we're doing really well. Let's take over the rest of the world because we're doing so good. And Roku's like, hey, it's not meant to be that way. They're 4 nations for a reason. Let's keep it that way. And turmoil breaks out. They end up fighting eventually, and then they don't see each other for 25 years. And then...
As most friendships go.
Yeah, exactly. Then Roku goes back to his home island, is living his life, doing his thing, and all of a sudden, he lives on like a volcano. All of a sudden, this volcano erupts, and who happens to be nearby? Oh, no other than Sozin.
Which, it literally is Pompeii, like, scene for scene, like, the documentaries that you see on History Channel of Pompeii, of the people running down the hill from the volcano, and it's just destroying their village, their town. Mm-hmm. Like, it was totally a Pompeii moment right there.
And I should mention, while the way we're getting this information told to us is Avatar Roku, well, Aang is like in the Avatar spirit world, I guess you can say, and so Roku is revealing this to him through, like, in the spirit world. And then Zuko is in the catacombs reading his great-grandfather Sozin's last, like, testimony. And so they're both living through what's going on, like, through the story, just through the eyes of someone else. So, anyway, Sozin ends up showing up to help Roku, and then Roku ends up, like, getting blasted in the face with the poisonous gas that the volcano emits.
I laughed so hard.
Yeah, I laughed too, because I was just kind of like, really? That's what's going to take the Avatar out? But anyway, so then Sozin's like, with you gone, all of my plans can happen, or, like, come forth. And so he leaves Roku there to die. And the saddest part is when Roku's dragon wraps up around him and they both die together. And then in that moment, Aang is born. And you see that he's
you just hear
a baby. Yeah. And then you realize why Sozin killed all the air nomads was because he knew that the next Avatar would be an airbender.
Smart.
So he killed all of them thinking that he would kill the Avatar while killing all of them, but he didn't. So he spent all those years trying to find Aang, who was frozen for 100 years.
What a smart dictator. What a smart guy.
Smart guy. And then at the end of this episode, Zuko goes to see Iroh, his uncle, as you guys know, who's
did that
still
bit ever say sorry?
in prison.
He still hasn't said sorry yet.
Did that hurt? Then, I'm trying to figure out what I'm
couldn't
saying.
Get past that.
Yeah,
one?
I do, and I don't want to experience that again.
He knocks.
No, stop. I don't
He
want to
opens
relive
the
it.
door.
I don't want to relive it. Okay. Okay, so then Zuko shows up to Iroh, and he's talking to him, and he tells him about what he read about Sozin. And Iroh tells him, Sozin is just, like, you have more than one great-grandfather. Sozin is your father's grandfather, but Avatar Roku is your mother's grandfather. So no wonder why he has this internal struggle, because he's literally fighting between evil and good. Like, there's an evil and good pole, because we have the Avatar over here, and then we have his evil grandfather, or great-grandfather over here. And so he has no choice but to
stand. So,
and then there's just Azula, who turned completely evil from the moment she was born.
Can I just say this? I just realized this as you're talking about it. Zuko and Aang's relationship between each other and storyline is just basically a reincarnation of Roku and Sozin. Mm-hmm. But they have the ability to work it out.
Well, it's
hopefully.
just like Iroh said. He told Zuko, he said, you yourself have the ability to change what's going on in the world. Like, by Zuko turning to the Avatar and connecting with him, they both have the power to change the course of history. So this moment is so big for me, because when you're watching it, and you really watch Zuko struggle through all of these seasons, through all these episodes, and then you figure out why, it's just like mind blown. Anyway, I enjoyed the episode. I loved getting a backstory of all of it. I'm sorry I took over that whole episode, Isaac.
I'm just brain dead, so I don't even know what,
Isaac just got Animal Crossing, so that's the only thing on his mind.
Well, that and I don't know what it is, but there's certain things I don't understand, and that's like family lines and like grandfathers, nieces, nephews. Like I can't do it.
See, and
I'm like brain dead when it comes to that.
I'm such a detailed person that I pay attention to all of those small things. All right, so we'll move on to the next one, which is episode 7. AKA The Runaway. I'll have you explain this one, because this one really seemed to last way too long. Isaac's over here going, no, I ain't explaining it.
This episode, where do I begin? Such a good episode.
Let us know, Isaac. Tell us how it is.
This is my real thoughts about this episode. It needed to happen only because of the character development. That is it. That's all this episode was, is character development. Which I'm fine with, but it dragged on. It was one of those episodes that just kept going, and I'm like, really? We've already gotten the point of the episode and the theme, and they've already kind of worked it out themselves, but then they had to include the plot in there, which I understand, which was like Combustion Man coming in and...
I mean, it's just the plot. Totally understandable.
Just the plot.
It's just tough.
I kind of wish they didn't have it in there, but it's just a time.
This episode...
It's basically, Toph is obviously blind, and she uses that towards her advantage, and they scam people in this Fire Nation town out of their money. And they get, like, super wealthy. I'm not going to say rich, because I don't know how much money they got, but apparently enough for Sokka to get
a bird?
hawk, a messenger bird.
Yeah. A bird. I feel like calling a hawk a bird is, like, such an understatement.
Yeah. But pretty much the whole episode's them scamming people to get money, and then Katara the whole time is like being really controlling and motherly, but she's just doing what she does best and what she knows she's doing what she knows how to do.
I feel like we've said this so many times, she is the mother of the group and she can't help but be that way, which they need that, but with that comes her controlling nature. And I identify with her in that way because I can be a little bit of a control freak sometimes. But we have Katara, who's this like control freak mother-like person, and then there's Toph, who's a complete opposite. She just wants to have fun and let loose and not have any rules. And so obviously they both need to meet in the middle, and this is what this episode is about. It's about their characters and the development between their friendship, I guess you can say. But besides that, it's just kind of like a I don't want to say easygoing because it's like scamming people, but yeah, this episode, I mean, it has its interesting moments.
Did you fart?
No, it's actually Jackie. What is Jackie saying? She said, I'm sorry. When COVID's over, we should go to my parents and stargaze again. Totally down for that, Jackie. I know you probably won't listen to this episode, but totally down. Okay, so...
I realized in this episode that, I mean, I don't know why it took me this long to realize, but all of the Avatar gang, everyone's personalities are so different, and they don't really mesh well. You know what I mean? Like, Toph's and Katara's are not good together.
But it makes the group so interesting.
No, that's what I'm getting at.
Is it? Are you getting there?
Okay, you know what? I'm done with this fun podcast. Bye, guys.
Yeah, it does. They work together well. Such different personalities coming together to create such a lovely family.
Okay, on to the next episode.
The Puppet Master, episode 8.
I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of boring. Like, I already remember what happens. Basically...
Hold on. Can I just say that I thought this episode was so much cooler than what it actually was.
Same.
I guess the last time I watched it, I must have been under some kind of magic spell because I thought it was one of the greatest episodes.
You were being controlled by Hama.
I was. Yeah, I thought it was amazing, and then I watched it, and I was like, this is so boring. It's so boring. And Katara's crying because she learns how to freaking bloodbend. Oh, poor baby. You know how to control people. Oh, sad.
Okay, that's scary, though. Katara's controlling nature, and she's like, I can actually control you now.
Okay, I know, but she, like, has a meltdown because of it, and it's like, I get it, like, you don't want to harm people, but do you really think you're that out of control that you're gonna harm people?
Okay, but how traumatic is that? You have this old lady who you just figured out learns...
Well, yeah, I'm not saying she shouldn't be, like, traumatized by the fact that she's
Aang and
been
Sokka show up, and Sokka has his dagger pulled out because he's being bloodbended, and she brings
saying
Aang and
she shouldn't be traumatized by that whole event, but you're telling me you're going to be upset because you know how to bloodbend. Really, what I would give to bloodbend.
Words can't describe... I just want to play Animal Crossing now.
I'm just kidding. Bloodbending's too much power for me. The power of being a human is
right
too much for me.
For you?
I have too much power just being alive right now.
You're too powerful.
Yeah. I have this, all I need is a mic in my hand.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even remember the plot of this episode. I just know that there's a ton of...
controls people and brings them to her on a full moon for some reason. I don't even know why she collects people. But she's like, I'm the puppet master.
One of the cool things from this episode, though, is the fact that Hama and Katara are the only surviving Southern Water Tribe benders.
True.
Waterbenders.
Yeah, so Katara's thinking like, oh my gosh, I can learn so much. This woman's so amazing. And then the episode continues to go on, and then Hama's like, you can find water in the craziest places. And then next thing you know, Katara's getting bloodbend because she doesn't want to learn how to bloodbend. But that's the thing, she does end up bloodbending Hama because Hama's trying to get Aang and Sokka to kill each other. And then Hama's like...
Wait, I have a question. This isn't going...
Wait, hold on. She's like... My plan worked. I'm passing on my bloodbending, so don't really know what's... And then Katara's crying, and I'm like, wow.
It's like...
That's so horrible.
Stop crying. You waste half your life fucking crying.
Yeah, for people that don't know, we don't say the F word, we say futtin, because we don't like to be so harsh. It's a really harsh word. I mean, we're still implying it, but it just doesn't sound as bad. Download our alternative bad words language pack, and...
Bad words language pack. We're selling it for $50 a piece.
We'll teach you how to use alternative bad words. Cut that out. Make sure that's not in there.
No, I'm leaving that
No.
in there. Okay, That's basically it. It's Hama.
Hama, here to haunt you. It's kind of creepy. I mean, the episode starts out with them telling scary stories, so you kind of get creeped out, but then not because it's Avatar.
And her backstory of being, like, captured by the Fire Nation, I understand.
Oh, like the whole reason she learned how to bloodbend. Yeah, it's understandable.
It's understandable, but to keep doing it, it's like, not everyone in the Fire Nation, it's the perfect example of being, like, prejudiced.
Of AKA being Jet.
Basically. But Hama. If Jet was Hama...
Can we make a Jet Hama, like, hybrid?
OTP. They both hate the Fire Nation, already have something in common.
That alone.
It's like perfect example... It's like the perfect example of prejudice, okay? So, like, this group of people, she thinks it's a group of people, but it's really just Fire Nation soldiers doing what they're told, are enslaving her people and killing them. Like, that sucks. That's bad. But at the end of the day, you can't blame that on a whole society, a whole culture, an entire nation. Mm-hmm. It's not the nation's fault that it happened. It's the people in power. Mm-hmm. But it's just, it's kind of a slippery slope for Hama because she's still bloodbending.
Yeah, true.
But not anymore because they locked her up. But I'm thinking, like, can't she just bloodbend through the chains and, like, cuffs and all that?
Yeah, I felt like she got out before, so what's stopping her now? I mean, I guess she can't move her hands through the weird puppet stuff she does, but...
Yeah, but that's it for this watch through. That was season 3, episodes 5 through 8.
5 through 8 of season 3. Guys, can I just say that we're almost done?
I don't want it to end.
I don't want it to end either. I mean, we're just gonna hop into Korra after. We might take like a few weeks for a break or something, or do something similar to that, and then hop into Korra. But it's just crazy because the new Avatar series, all the hype around it is coming out, and I'm just ready for it. I'm ready for it, and I don't want the Avatar universe to end ever.
Yeah.
I want to watch Avatar for the rest of my life. I do. How interesting would it be if they just kept... They could go so long. They can go on forever with the Avatar universe. I can become the Avatar. They can change the rules to where you're not born when one dies.
So
you can become one. We are all avatars.
Again, you're proving Alessandro's point that you are a firebender. You have a god complex going right now, which you see a lot avatars, in Firelord, Sozin, and
avatars
Ozai.
Within ourselves. We're all the avatar of our lives. Comment below if you agree, please. This episode was all over the place.
Yes, I'm so sorry in advance for how this sounds.
So sorry in advance.
Yeah.
But they're listening to this at the end of the episode.
Kill me. Exactly. I'm just sorry in general.
We're both just sorry. Enjoy.
Imagine we're just like, bye.
Okay, see you next week.
I'm Isaac.
And I'm Rachel.
And we will see you
later.
Soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Let's Talk Avatar. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Rachel.
You can find us on our website at nonessentialmedia.com.
On Instagram under Nonessential Media.
On Twitter at nonessentialm.
And on Facebook by searching Nonessential Media. Join us next week for another episode of Let's Talk Avatar.
We love you, baby Hope.